Hello, SMS school families and friends. My name is Miss Emily Zagance, the new principal, and I am excited to take you through St. Michael's School's Return to School plan for the 2020-2021 school year. Our mission: St. Michael, an accredited Catholic elementary school, partners with families in the education of the mind, body, and soul of each child. Overview. The following document outlines the protocols and logistics surrounding the reopening of our school. Face-to-face learning will be offered for all students pre-K 3 through grade 8, 5 days a week from 8 a.m. to 2:25 p.m. starting on August 26, 2020, and will follow our 2020-2021 school calendar for holidays, vacations, and days off. Face-to-face instruction and remote learning. We believe that in-person instruction is the best and most effective learning modality for our students. Face-to-face instruction allows the focus to be on the whole child and addresses the educational, spiritual, and social needs of each student in person. However, during this time, we are also preparing for the event of remote learning for those students who are not able to attend in person. This method of instruction, which will be both synchronous and asynchronous, will allow students to participate in live classroom instruction throughout the normal school day. If mandated, St. Michael's School will deliver learning remotely for the entire student population through the Google Classroom platform. Catholic identity. Catholic identity. St. Michael's School has no intention of losing any part of its Catholic identity during any phase of our school reopening. The Catholic culture will be kept alive and thriving with increased staff formation, virtual lessons, prayer opportunities, masses, and service projects. Communication. Classroom, communities, and communication. Relationships are at their best when built on trust, communication, and support. The relationships we build at school are no exception. The teachers, staff, and administration at St. Michael's School will use their expertise to provide both a classroom and learning community where students feel safe, whether remote or face-to-face, sharing ideas and expressing concerns. These relationships will be particularly necessary if we are forced to have remote learning for all students. St. Michael's School will continue to use Option C, which includes parent alerts and grades, social media, our school website, and Google Classroom, as well as our newsletter as a means of communication. Honoring staff's time. As so many recognized during the spring closing, family and personal time is to be treasured. We all need to recharge to best serve each other. The faculty and staff ask that you recognize and honor their family and personal time after school hours and on weekends. Office hours, when phone calls and emails will be fielded, will be shared with families at the beginning of the year. Wellness. Daily health assessment of students and staff. Families, please support the health and safety of the school community by completing a daily health assessment at home by taking the following actions. Check your child's temperature each morning. Students with a temperature of 100.4 will not be permitted in the school building. Temperatures will be taken at the side Orchard Street entrance prior to being admitted into the building. Confirm that your child does not display symptoms such as chills, shortness of breath, fatigue, body aches, headaches, loss of taste or smell, sore throat, congestion or runny nose, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea. Faculty and staff will also be required to follow the same guidelines and will have their temperature checked upon entering the building. Screening. Staff members will be at the Orchard Street entrance. As students get out of their vehicles or bus, staff members will take the student's temperature with a no-touch thermometer. If the student has a temperature of 100.4 or greater, the parent will be asked to take the student home. If the student is a bus rider, she or he will be taken to the isolation room and a parent will be called. See the screen on isolation. If no other symptoms present, the student must be fever-free for 3 days without fever-reducing agents before returning to school. If other symptoms are present, families should contact their family health care provider. Isolation space and visitors. Room 104 has been converted into an isolation room. This room will be used appropriately to isolate students if necessary. Students who are exhibiting symptoms will remain in this space with a face covering until a parent or guardian, within an hour of being notified, can pick them up from school. This space will be monitored by school personnel. No visitors, including parents or guardians, will be permitted inside the building. To pick up a child from school, parents or guardians will buzz in at the side Orchard Street entrance and wait outside until school personnel comes to the door to release the child to their care. Reporting COVID-19 exposure. Anyone exhibiting symptoms of COVID-19 should contact their primary care provider. Depending on their access to care, they will be given testing instructions. In reporting an absence, parents and staff are to provide reasons for the absence and indicate the symptoms exhibited. Families and staff members must notify the school if they have been diagnosed with COVID-19, if they have been exposed to someone diagnosed with COVID-19, or if someone in their immediate household is presumed to have COVID-19. All students and staff should follow the PA Department of Health guidelines for school attendance and remittance to school after a positive COVID-19 diagnosis, including self-quarantine for 14 days and significant improvement in respiratory and gastrointestinal symptoms. We recognize that there may be increased likelihood of absences and students will not be penalized if they must be quarantined. Remote learning will be used by students during a quarantine period. Contact tracing. Should an individual in the school, adult or child, be diagnosed by a physician as being positive with the COVID-19 virus, the following flow would occur according to the CDC. Emotional wellness. Students will have time during morning meetings to check in at the beginning of the day, as well as time at the end of the day to check out. During these times, teachers will help students with relaxation and coping skills. Donna Benson, our school's guidance counselor, will continue to meet with students in class and in small group settings. Before the start of the school year, teachers will attend trainings on common signals of distress associated with exposure to a traumatic event, such as COVID-19. Teachers will also have weekly meetings, at which time they will also practice the skills taught to the students, share COVID-19 related issues, and receive information, resources, and updates on COVID-19. Arrival and dismissal. Arrival. Students may arrive at school as early as 7:30 a.m. The tardy bell rings at 8 a.m. We will not penalize any student who is tardy as a result of temperature screening at the entrance. Please be prompt with arrival. Diminishing the number of tardy students will help us limit traffic in the hallways, exposure, and allow us to remain on schedule with cleaning and sanitizing high-touch areas. All students in pre-K 3 through grade 8 will enter the side Orchard Street entrance. The required temperature checks will be taken by a St. Michael's School staff member at each entrance. Upon arrival, students must wear a face covering and report directly to their homerooms. Arrival and traffic pattern. Please refer to the diagram when dropping your child off at the Orchard Street entrance. Turn onto Gillespie Avenue. Turn left onto North 3rd Street. Turn left onto Orchard Street. Children should exit the car on the right-hand side to safely enter the building. Continue using Orchard Street one way until back on North High Street. Access to the school. As stated above, visitors will not be permitted in the school building. Only those with essential functions, such as resource teachers, the meter reader, etc., will be permitted access and must adhere to our distancing and face covering policies. All school transactions and business will be done outside at the Orchard Street entrance. Movement in the hallways, including travel to and from the office, will be reduced for all students. Please limit the number of items that are dropped off at the school during the school day. Students leaving early for an appointment. Parents and guardians picking up students due to an appointment or illness will buzz in at the Orchard Street entrance and wait by the door for school personnel to come down with their child. School personnel will help sign the child out. Dismissal for grades K through 8. Dismissal routines may take longer as students will be dismissed in smaller groups. All bus riders will be dismissed beginning at 2:25 p.m. and will exit through the Orchard Street door as their bus is called. Car riders will be dismissed through the front doors at 2:30 p.m. or after all bus riders have departed. Parents are asked to park in the church or playground lots. Parents or guardians driving their child home must have a face covering on and maintain a 6-foot distance. There will be no crossing guard this year, so after all buses have departed, parents or guardians are asked to walk their child back to their vehicle. Dismissal for pre-K 3 and 4. Because pre-K requires a little more time dismissing, and because the pre-K 4 room is used for the after-school SAFE program, we need time to disinfect the room between uses. Students in pre-K 3 and 4 will be dismissed at 2:10 p.m. this year. Dismissal will be from the pre-K 3 and 4 doors, respectively. Parents or guardians should use these doors and walk their child to their vehicle. If waiting for an older sibling, families are asked to stay in their vehicles until the grades K through 8 students are ready for dismissal. Transportation. All busing routes, schedules, and procedures come from your home school district. Once transportation from our local districts is communicated to us, we will release further details to our families. If you utilize busing for your child, your local district will provide you with their specific guidelines and their specific cleaning protocol. Students will have their temperature checked upon arrival to school, sanitize their hands upon entering the building, and report directly to their classroom. SAFE program. Our extended care program, also known as SAFE, will follow the same rules and guidelines as school. Distancing and disinfection protocols will be followed. Students will be assessed for symptoms of illness after school and before entering the safe room. Students will be required to sanitize their hands and follow social distancing guidelines. Parents picking their child up from SAFE will be required to wear a mask. All students must be pre-registered and signed up for SAFE before being able to utilize this service, with no exceptions. There will be a cap of 10 students. Instruction. Synchronous and asynchronous. These are words that you'll start to hear often. Our goal is to blend the two. Synchronous learning. Students are encouraged in learning at the same time in a large group. During remote learning, this will happen through live streamed video. Asynchronous learning. Students are learning the same material at different times on their own pace and in different locations. During remote learning, this will happen when teachers assign independent practice or projects. Instruction. All St. Michael's School students should expect to participate in the same rigorous schedule regardless of which instructional modality is being used. If remote learning becomes necessary for all school families, determined by the county and/or state officials, students will be asked to take part in synchronous and asynchronous learning, where attendance will be taken. All school rules and policies will be followed. Students working remotely will be expected to dress appropriately for class and work in a quiet space. This should be a dedicated learning area with all materials in hand and devices charged and ready for the school day ahead. Attendance and grading. Students will be required to be visibly identified and present for the class for the full class period. They will be required to complete and return all assignments as directed by the teacher. The traditional St. Michael's School grading scale will remain in place regardless of the model of instruction. We will continue to give guidance and support to all students in need. In the event that we are required to move to a full remote learning model, the traditional school schedule will continue to be taught in both synchronous and asynchronous manners determined by the grade level teachers. Specials and Act 89 Title I services. We will be making every effort for special classes, gym, music, art, and library to take place. Special classes will be held in homerooms whenever possible, or outside, weather permitting, with an emphasis on non-contact activities. We will also be making every effort to continue Act 89 and Title I in speech services. Standardized tests, benchmark assessment testing. Students in grades K through 2 will be given the Acadience Math and Literacy Assessments, formerly DIBELS, 3 times throughout the year. These assessments will be conducted on campus and through remote learning when feasible. This school year, we will be transitioning to ACT Aspire rather than administering the Terra Nova tests for students in grades 3 through 8. ACT also offers benchmark tests that can be administered electronically. These assessments will help us determine areas of strengths and weaknesses in each child and will help the teachers in mapping out their curriculum for the school year. The summative or final assessment for the year will be given in late spring. All parents will be notified to the administration of these assessments. Technology. 1-to-1 technology ratio. St. Michael's School operates on a 1-to-1 device to student ratio for grades 4 through 8 using Chromebooks and Windows Surface Pros. Additional devices will be added as the school year is working toward a one-to-one environment for all grade levels, pre-K through 8, including Apple iPads and additional Chromebooks. Learning management systems and other learning applications will be utilized in the classroom and during remote learning periods. Utilizing devices and programs on a regular basis will lead to a smooth transition between the different learning environments. Facilities and learning environment. Physical distancing. Because of our small class sizes and large classrooms, students will be able to maintain a distance of 6 feet from others while in the classrooms and hallways during outdoor activities. Desks have been mapped out to maintain this distance and will all face in the same direction. Student travel from class to class will be limited in an effort to limit exposure and the possibility of cross-contamination. Students will change classes when unavoidable. While in the hallway, students will travel in their cohort group. Students will also use personal supplies, avoiding the sharing of materials. Face coverings and masks. The Universal Face Covering Order requires individuals over the age of 2 to wear a face covering if not able to maintain a distance of 6 feet. A face covering can include a plastic face shield that covers the nose and mouth. Students of all ages will be asked to wear a face covering upon arrival and dismissal of school, when in large groups, and where they are unable to maintain a safe social distance, for example, in hallways and bathrooms. When students are sitting at their desks, face coverings may not be necessary. In addition, breaks from face coverings will be provided throughout the school day. Students may pick a mask of their choice as long as it is school appropriate. Cleaning of the building and facilities. High traffic and high touch areas and surfaces will be disinfected or sanitized throughout the day, all days that school is in session, and whenever facilities are used over the weekend. Clean Start services will be cleaning and disinfecting all areas Monday through Friday after school. Teachers will clean and sanitize high-touch areas in the classrooms at scheduled times throughout the day. All faculty, staff, and key stakeholders will be trained on proper disinfection and sanitation and products before the start of the school year by the school's contracted cleaning service. Staff, faculty, and key stakeholders will sign that they have been trained. Restrooms. Restrooms will be checked at every hour by support staff to sanitize and replenish supplies. Restroom breaks will be scheduled and staggered. Emergencies will be permitted between breaks if necessary. Restrooms will be cleaned and disinfected after school each day by Clean Start, our contracted cleaning company. Hand sanitizing. Hand sanitizing stations will be readily available throughout the school, so students and adults have access to sanitation throughout the day, as well as when entering the building. Washing with soap and water is preferable and required before and after eating and after using the restroom. Classrooms without sinks already will have portable sinks to allow for soap and water washing. Lunch and snacks. Lunch and snacks will be eaten and served on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for those who choose to purchase in the homeroom classrooms. Students will eat in their room with classmates from their homeroom. Students will not be permitted to share food. Extra care will be taken to clean and disinfect desks before and after lunch. Students in grades K through 8 are permitted to pack a snack for a mid-morning snack break. Pre-K students will have snack provided. Recess and playground. When possible, we plan to utilize outdoor spaces. We will work to minimize the number of students who are outside at the same time through a staggered schedule. We will also utilize more of the grassy areas on our campus for alternate play areas. Activities that minimize or limit physical contact will be promoted. Hands will be sanitized before and after play. Our school toys, particularly in the pre-K rooms, will undergo cleaning on a routine basis. Students may not bring in toys or equipment of their own. Sports and field trips. St. Michael's School athletics, as well as on-site field trips, for safety reasons, will be suspended until further notice. See our Return to Safe Play Plan, RTSP. The link will be provided as well as posted on our website once our plan has been approved. Questions? Questions. After reviewing St. Michael's School's Return to School plan, you might still have some lingering questions. A back-to-school Zoom meeting, date to be announced, will hopefully answer many of those questions. If there are any additional questions, please contact the school office, 724-588-7050, or email stmikes@neo.rr.com. St. Michael, pray for us. And thank you. A very special thank you to all who served on committees to create this plan. Deacon Marty Abel, Andrea Babel, Rita Baldarelli, Lisa Bates, Tom Bear, Veronica Bear, Anna Bufner, Nicole Chapman, Jean Cianci, Kate Cianci, Paul Cianci, Kevin Coffey, Ryan Davis, Erica Dorio, Trishelle Eddy, Natalie Endicott, Haley Germano, Roy Jackson, Nancy Krem, Sue Loffer, Deacon Frank Luciani, Kathy McConnell, Lynn McCrillis, Ellie McIntosh, Patricia McIntosh, Leanne Miskey, Christine Moramando, Sandy Ohl, Katie Perry, Mary Reimold, Mary Lynn Reimold, Tom Rickert, Ginny Richardson, Janet Scott, Rebecca Scott, Connor Scullen, Krista Sellards, Susan Swartzbeck, Shannon Thomas, Michael Varga, Aaron Warren, Kathy Williams, Michael Wingard, Emily Zagans, and Sheila Zuschlaw. Thank you.